Now, I tried to get out here yesterday, but it was hot yesterday. I tried. I'm going to show you a clip of what it looked like yesterday. It was like 90 some degrees yesterday. I lasted all but 10 minutes, but I did get some done. So I'm going to show you that clip. Hey everyone, my name is Kelly and welcome to DeShields Fields. How are you today? I am just an everyday gardener growing sustainably in my small 7B backyard, and today is garden cleanup day. It is 10 o'clock in the morning and it's hot. It's hot. We're gonna see how much we can get done, and I'm gonna take you along with me. As you can tell, I have the hat on, but gardening chores never end. Okay, yeah, we're not going to be able to get much done. That I can tell you. We might not be able to get much done today. Sweating into my eye. I don't know if that's ever happened. All right, let's try this again. We're going to let the airplane go by. We are about to go back inside. Come on, Charlie. So the first thing we are going to do is just get rid of any brown lint pieces that we see hanging. Past couple of days, it has gotten very close to 100 degrees here in Maryland, which is definitely showing on my plants. So what I've been doing is watering them at night and also in the morning in some cases. Trying to be careful not to cut off too much. However, if the ends are brown and crispy, they have got to go. Other than this, I have to say, for my first year growing onions, these actually look pretty good. Let me show you how big some of these onions have gotten. You see that? Look at the size of that onion. So good. There's a number of things that I need to do over here. First, this sweet basil needs to be harvested, and then harvest some of these sugar snap peas and also some of these flowers. Some of the nasturtium leaves are a little crispy, so we're going to get rid of those as well. This is the sweet basil, and as you can see, it is starting to flower a little bit. So what we are going to do is cut this back, and we're going to cut it back to where there is a node. I'm going to cut this down a little bit further to the next node. This one right here. We're going to cut this all the way back here. This is where the next node is. And we're just going to do the same thing for the rest of them. You can barely see this purple basil down here, but we are going to do the same exact thing. Cut it back. Not much on this one, but pretty good. So now we're going to go ahead and harvest some sugar snap peas. Now some of these are some really big sugar snap peas. Look at this. They're usually pretty thin, but all of these are the same size. They definitely taste like sugar snap peas. Now my squash plant, I'm not quite sure what's happening here. I do have some squash that started growing but died off. So let me bring you a little closer. We do have some that started growing but died off, like right here and right here. And these two right here are going to compost. And look at this purple basil right here. It's definitely past its time of being harvested. So we will just take this top portion right here. Look at my sage. Now this is cinnamon basil. You can tell it's starting to flower some. So we will cut this back as well, see if we can get some more life out of this plant. And what we will notice, because we are cutting these where a node is, when it grows back, it's going to grow wider instead of taller. Let me harvest some of the stevia. If any of you have this at home, I want you to just take a piece and chew it. It's very sweet. Very, 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 very sweet. That's good. I'm going to show you in a separate video how I preserve or dry all of these herbs. All right, is there anything else on this top shelf? Yes. Now this is a sage plant that was very, what can I say? It was very limp when I planted it. You see how it's curved down, but it's still perfectly fine. As you can tell, it's still growing, it's still producing. Don't throw away your plants when you notice that they are just a little, you know, imperfect. So now it is many hours later. It was hot today. It is now in the evening. We're going to try to finish up. What we can't finish up, we will pick up tomorrow. My strawberry plant definitely needs a lot of help. So we're going to start by removing everything on here that does not look like it should be, including strawberries that have died. These runners, you can plant these and plant them in dirt and they will start to grow roots. So I'm actually going to do that because I do have some empty pockets in here that can be planted. These are actually two, one here and one here. We're going to hold on to that. If the leaves are just a little red, I will hold on to them. But if they have like red dots on them, we're going to get rid of it. Hopefully, with me doing this, it will help. It started appearing after we had that couple of days of rain, and today is the next day. I actually have some running around that I have to do, but I really don't have that much more to do. Today, I really need to get over here and get the kale and collard. I found a little basket, and this is what we are going to be putting our harvest in for today. This is the kale that I'm going to be harvesting, just like in previous videos, focusing on the outside leaves so that we can get the most out of our kale. Because it'll continually grow from the top center. This is a lot of kale. I'm going to show you how much kale I'm actually able to get off of just these two plants. And then we're going to move over here to the collards. Breaking from the outside. I will be replanting these for the fall as well. Next, I'm going to feed my plant. I found this. This is an organic berry tone fruit and berry food. It says it's ideal for all blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. We're just going to put a little bit in each pocket and then water. Hopefully this will help because I've noticed that the strawberries have been struggling a little bit. Now this bed right here, I think I might have stunted the growth of my peppers, but they are still producing. This is a sweet heat pepper. Take a look at these peppers. The growth might have been stunted, but it's still growing full-size peppers. Another one on that side. This is the same type of pepper plant. It's a sweet heat pepper plant, and the same thing. It is short, but look at these peppers that it's growing. Full-size peppers. Back here, my cayenne plant, again, is small, but I have some cayenne growing over here. I have some over here. Same thing. This is also a cayenne pepper plant, and you can see the cayenne peppers growing right here. So even if they're stunted, they still grow fine. Look at my Brussels sprouts. They are doing wonderful. And you can see on this one over here, we're going to soon have some Brussels sprouts over here as well. This is an update on my sweet potato plants. Again, these are Covington sweet potatoes. And do you see how they're growing up the trellis? That is exactly what I wanted them to do. And again, listen, I did not get this idea of this trellis on my own. I actually found that on YouTube. If I can find the YouTuber that came up with this clever idea, I'll put it on the screen. That was sometime last year when I came across that video, and I made the trellis and came up with this idea from him. This is the cantaloupe, again growing up the trellis. Now in the video that I got this idea off of, he grew watermelon growing up the trellis. So I tried it last year with my sweet potato and it worked out perfectly. So don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay notified on everything that I do in my small 7B backyard. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.